One of the things that the orange monster keeps repeating over and over and over again, and he repeats it because he's sick. He's sick in the head, and he's getting worse. But he keeps repeating it over and over again, and that is, well, for example, yesterday he said that he thought he'd finish his first term without people, quote, making false claims, end quote. Now, he was referring specifically to false claims in his mind about the whistleblower report, about his grinding like a mafia don on the president of Ukraine, Zelensky. He thought that, well, they can't make false claims because, and he added this with kind of the puffery that you expect from a punk ass, because they didn't know that I had a transcript. As if he consciously and deliberately had a transcript made so he could hand it out to everybody so we all could see what this monster attempted in terms of collusion, blackmail, interfering in our presidential election again. Well, guess what? His comment yesterday that this call with the Ukrainian president was transcribed, and he said this looking right into the camera, word for word, comma for comma, quote, end quote. That's what he said, which raised questions about the nature and completeness of what he's calling word for word, comma for comma, or something, which is, you should pardon the expression, bullshit, completely and totally. Trump said, now Trump, of course, is a liar. This rotten thug lies about everything. It is his nature. He learned it from his lying parents. He has put this into his lying children. He is a liar about every single thing he says. I don't know how somebody can be a friend of his or a family member of his or a spouse of his because all he does is lie about everything. And that's not his public persona. He is a liar, top to bottom, left to right, in and out, up and down. Everything he says and does is a lie. Well, he said yesterday for about the umpteenth time, this is an exact word-for-word transcript of the conversation, and I like this last part, taken by very talented stenographers. They're really good, talented, very talented, the best stenographers in the world. You ought to see these stenographers. They are the best stenographers ever made, produced, whatever. Great, good stuff. Now, the liars that work for him in the White House, the ones who have predispositions to lie, but going to work for Trump, it ceases being a predisposition and becomes an absolute necessity. You must be a liar. We've talked about this before, to work for Trump, or Trump will not hire you. So these White House officials, the liars, had previously said the document as not a verbatim transcription. You saying the boss is full of shit, right? But rather a summary that closely tracked the words that the monster used in his July 25th call with Ukraine President Zelensky. So Trump's been saying word for word, comma for comma, made by very talented stenographers. Stenographer? Somebody uses stenographers these days? What, they write in shorthand? Those little squiggly lines? Trump, woohoo! Oh, why bother? Anyway, the White House officials said that not verbatim transcription, that summary was being released in an attempt to bring transparency and clarity to this phone call that is going to put Trump on the street where regular authorities can lock the son of a bitch up for the rest of his life, however long that is. But the White House officials who contradicted Trump and said, no, it's not word for word, it's not comma for comma, and it wasn't transcribed by very talented stenographers. This is not a verbatim, it's a summary. Well, then these very same people had the gall or the nerve or the cojones or whatever to say that it was being released, this phony document was being released in an effort to bring transparency and clarity to what happened. Oh, dear God. Anyway, the whistleblower complaint that is the basis of Trump's impeachment the complaint described, quote, an official word-for-word transcript of the call. And that's what the whistleblower said. He said, the official word-for-word transcript of the call, creating an uncertainty about what was included in the document the White House released last week and what was left out. So even though the whistleblower had an official word-for-word transcript, or described, the whistleblower didn't have a word for it, but he described the word-for-word transcript that was available. So what was released last week is just more bullshit. Current and former U.S. officials studying the document pointed to several elements that indicate that the document had been handled, and I like this, in an unusual way. The document had been handled in an unusual way. Now, I read that to mean it had been doctored, changed, words eliminated, phrases added, and the ubiquitous three-dot ellipses, right? ... Which means, well, there's more here, but we're stopping there. Anyway, the officials say, the U.S. officials, current and former U.S. officials who have looked at this summary, say the use of ellipses, punctuation indicating that information has been deleted for clarity or other reasons, right? You've seen that before. Ellipses traditionally don't appear in summaries of presidential calls with foreign leaders. That's not the way it's done. If you can consolidate, if you're going to produce a document that summarizes what the President of the United States said in a phone call, that is the summary is then to be released to the public, it has sentences with periods and maybe even paragraph indentations and popular or proper grammatical structure, proper punctuation, no three-dot ellipses. Well, that's the way it was done in the past. Anyway, these experts, these current U.S. officials who spoke on the condition of anonymity, I wonder why, made it very clear that that's not how a summary of a presidential conversation usually appears. And the article here from the Washington Post goes on to say, in two of the cases when ellipses were used in the summary, they accompanied Trump's reference to cybersecurity firm CrowdStrike, which is the center of a conservative conspiracy theory, bum, 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 about a computer server central to the company's investigation, CrowdStrike's investigation of the Russian hack of Democratic Party computers that according to those pushing the theory, are hidden in the Ukraine. Or hidden in Ukraine. I shouldn't say the Ukraine. It's not part of Russia. Hidden in Ukraine. This server, this Rudy Giuliani fantasy thing, this Sean Hannity bullshit thing that they keep CrowdStrike. Oh, that's where all the secrets are. You know what else is in there? What really happened at Benghazi. But Trump, being the lying piece of human waste that he is, will stand in the driveway or on the lawn or in a meeting with the president of Finland and say it over and over again because he is a malignant, toxic liar. Well, I gave you a word-for-word transcript. Is all right there. Every word, every comma, right there. What about the 3-dot ellipsis, Mr. President? Huh? The what? 3-dot ellipsis? You talking to me? You talking to me? What is it? What, you using a foreign language on me? Ellipsis? What is that? Is that Mexican? Jesus. One person familiar with the creation of records of calls with foreign leaders who spoke on the condition of anonymity because they're talking about a secret process said, quote, the one that was released, the transcript that Trump says, word for word, comma to comma, the one that was released is not the one the Situation Room created. That's just not possible. End quote. So the next time, and it'll probably be, I don't know, tonight, tomorrow, whenever it is, that Trump stands someplace and talks about, well, they have a verbatim a transcript, word for word. I gave it to him. See, they didn't know I was going to give them a transcript. Ha, ha, ha. Caught them, didn't I, huh? Because they're making shit up. No, I'm sorry. They're making bullshit up. I use the bullshit word now. And whether or not Trump believes that is immaterial. What is important is he wants us to believe it. I wouldn't believe Trump if at high noon on Saturday he would say to me, hey, Malloy, it's high noon on Saturday. Hi, Truth Seekers. Mike Malloy here. As you know, we've switched formats and are now broadcast exclusively on the Progressive Voices Network. So that means you get fewer program interruptions, no corporate commercials, and lots of profanity. But our format change also means some of our radio listeners no longer hear the program. It's been a while since I mentioned our podcasts, so you may have forgotten that there is a way to listen to this program anytime you need a good dose of screaming. Visit MikeMalloy.com and subscribe to our podcasts. You have your choice. You can listen to the ranting with the audio podcast or listen and watch me lose control with a video podcast subscription. As a podcast subscriber, you can download the program to your mobile device and take me with you wherever you go. And if you have a friend who needs a dose of truth-seeking, you can give a gift subscription as well. That's MikeMalloy.com, and never miss a minute of the uncensored fun and frivolity.